Well, hey guys, we need to talk about this. Fox News commentator Tucker Carlson was going on about testicle tanning to boost testosterone. Okay, there is so much here that we need to talk about. Obviously, coming from me, you know what I'm going to talk about, but there's more. Okay, so I guess this is a promo for a show about the decline in manhood, and it's kind of interesting. It's got these shirtless muscled men walking around, shooting rifles, wrestling, doing all these macho things. And then there's this naked man rather triumphantly exposing his crotch to a red light device. And they go on to talk about how red light is going to boost your testosterone if you expose your scrotum to it, which is just not true. I love to get on here and whine about how many gimmicks there are in the skincare market and how it's oversaturated. But for men's health, this testosterone boosting market is a sea of quackery, you guys. Tons of supplements and things that they're trying to sell young men to boost their testosterone. Low testosterone or hypogonadism, it's something that you should discuss with your doctor. There are medical reasons for lower testosterone, but there are tons of these online testosterone replacement therapy clinics that, so it's a huge direct-to-consumer profit-driven industry. So they're promoting this device, this red light device for the scrotum, but they talk about testicular tanning. And you guys know that ultraviolet radiation comes from the sun. That's what causes mutations in our DNA and leads to skin cancers and skin aging. But you also get a whopping dose of visible light from the sun, including red light. So the idea that you would go out and tan your scrotum, somebody might think in their mind, oh, I'm getting this red light, it's gonna boost my testosterone, it's gonna be healthy. My concern here is that people will be misled into thinking it's a good idea to go sunbathing to obtain these, quote, benefits, especially in those who've already been oversold on the benefits of sun exposure. Plus, alongside this kind of marketing, there's similar people talking about boosting vitamin D. I've talked about this in other videos before, but getting a tan is not a safe way to raise your vitamin D levels without simultaneously putting you at risk for skin cancers, especially to the scrotum. So the skin of the scrotum is very, very thin and delicate, a lot more vulnerable to ultraviolet radiation damage. Idea that they're promoting that you can boost your testosterone by exposing your scrotum to red light, they're trying to extrapolate the ideas behind photobiomodulation.
There's a massive amount
which is testicle tanning.
It's testicle tanning, but it's also full body red light therapy, which has massive amount of benefits. And there's so much data out there that isn't being picked up on or covered.
The idea that you can boost testosterone, though, from exposing your scrotum to red light is absurd and definitely not evidence-based at all. The guy he's talking to is just fitness professional, so not a physician, definitely not a urologist. The fitness professional he's interviewing name drops this red light device that he's promoting, the Juve, which costs anywhere from $600 to almost $10,000. So there is no FDA approved red light device for boosting testosterone. I mean, it's just not a thing. They try to make the claim that the red light device is going to boost ATP production in the Leydig cells in the testicles to improve energy and boost up testosterone production. There's no evidence that red light therapy will increase testosterone production. Red light's not going to penetrate to the level of the testicles. It's got the skin of the scrotum to go through. It's just not going to get to the actual Leydig cells. They actually refer to this as Bromiopathy, which I think is really an interesting moniker.
So why is it crazy to seek solutions?
It's not crazy to seek solutions, and I think I was recently exposed to a term called Bromiopathy, and I think there's a lot of people out there right now that don't trust the mainstream information.
Melding homeopathy and bro-ness, like bro science, which is just kind of, I don't know, hand-waving in my opinion, melding them together. There are currently no FDA-cleared light-based devices on the market for boosting testosterone production. It just doesn't make sense. Red light, it's effective for a variety of conditions. It can help in improving pattern hair loss because it can help with improving circulation to the scalp. The idea that putting red light to the scrotum is going to boost testosterone production in the testicles in a very specific cell compartment, it's a reach. It's interesting that they say testicle tanning. You can't tan an internal organ. They're talking about exposing the scrotum, but internal to that is the testicles, and you can't tan an internal organ, so it doesn't make sense. The men's health consumer market is just bloated with a ton of misinformation. Like I already alluded to earlier, there are a ton of websites hawking different supplements that claim to boost testosterone. And it's really sad because, I'm a dermatologist, I'm not a urologist. I'm commenting here because tanning is not safe, it's dangerous. And I don't want anybody out there to think that it's healthy to go out and tan any skin surface, and let alone that it's plausible or possible to improve your, boost your testosterone by doing this. It's just complete BS. They really prey on young men in particular, but all men, I think, because with age, testosterone levels do start to drop off. And low testosterone or hypogonadism can lead to fatigue, poor energy, decrease in muscle mass, and erectile dysfunction. But there are also a lot of other issues that can cause those problems. And I do think that these online communities, these kind of men's health bromancy websites, I do really think that they just laser focus on boosting testosterone, and they miss a bigger picture that there are a variety of other medical reasons that you can have those symptoms and have those issues. Poor sleep, problem with your thyroid, all sorts of things. And when it comes to erectile dysfunction, low testosterone is not even like the most common reason for that. It's often a vascular problem, a problem with the blood vessels. As much as I am in favor of telemedicine, it has its place. The TRT booming direct-to-consumer market, it can easily start to blur the lines between patient care and just selling stuff that is not necessarily helpful and missing bigger picture issues. And I think it is a disservice. There's this idea out there in these communities that, mainstream medicine is just missing the mark. These concepts are things we need to keep an open mind about.
Open your mind, Bobby.
That's even what he says. He even says, keep an open mind. Kid Rock even questioned him.
Our cameraman, I think Tom Fox is in your house right now.
You need to keep an open mind if you're having symptoms that you think may be related to low testosterone. You need to keep an open mind that there are a ton of other potential medical causes for these symptoms, and to not just falsely attribute it to low testosterone. Testosterone levels are actually quite variable throughout the day, and they are impacted by things like REM sleep. And so there is a big direct-to-consumer market for testing testosterone levels. And I do think it's easy to, get into a situation where people are trying to self-diagnose their symptoms, falsely attributing them to low testosterone, and then getting on testosterone replacement therapy unnecessarily. Yes, low testosterone is a thing. It's definitely something to not dismiss, to take seriously. It may be contributory or causative of certain symptoms, but don't miss out on your overall health. To summarize, it is absolutely not safe to tan your testicles. You can get a skin cancer quite easily there, not to mention a sunburn. It's not going to boost your testosterone, exposing your skin to red light from the sun or from a device. There are no FDA cleared light-based devices for putting red light to the scrotum. It's very unlikely red light is going to penetrate to the level of the Leydig cell to boost up testosterone production. And these things do not drop upwards of close to $10,000. You are getting played if you do that. You are getting played if you're doing that. If you have symptoms of low libido, erectile dysfunction, poor energy, inability to put on muscle mass, loss of muscle mass, weight gain, these kinds of things, please talk to your primary care doctor. Blood work may be needed. A physical exam goes a long way for thinking about this problem and approaching potential causes. And if you do have hypogonadism, low testosterone, there are proven treatments for it. Topical androgen gels, patches, pellets, testosterone replacement. And you can get that from your primary doctor if you have an underlying problem with your testosterone levels. And as with everything when it comes to our health, diet, exercise, and sleep also play a major role. I feel like a few years ago, I saw some posts that it was trendy to tan your perineum. People going out and basically, you get the drift, tanning downstairs. That is not evidence-based for doing anything other than putting you at increased risk for squamous cell carcinoma, melanoma. Yeah, definitely don't go zapping your privates with red light or go tanning them. Not safe or evidence-based for doing anything other than wasting your time and money and resources, potentially putting you in harm's way. I mean, if you think about it, you could even burn yourself with one of these light-based devices. There's not one that's FDA cleared for the scrotum, so the safety is even less likely to be legit. I think men are also particularly vulnerable for this type of marketing because traditionally men have been far more resistant in comparison to women, just based on historical data and trials and things like that. Men are far more resistant to seek out medical care. They delay medical care. It's just, you know, that is what the data suggests historically. So because of that and an increase in trend towards doubting the medical profession, you have this population of young men who are really, you know, being taken advantage of to market a bunch of BS stuff to. Keep an open mind. It's a red flag when you question something and say there's no science for that, like where are you coming up with this? And they just, their rebuttal is keep an open mind. That's a criticism I get on this channel all of the time. I'll get comments when I make a video talking about why you shouldn't be ingesting silver, or why you shouldn't be putting essential oils on your skin, or why you shouldn't be snorting nasal tanning sprays, or why I don't think it's a good idea to be advertising a controlled substance like amphetamine to young children. I always get comments along these lines that I am a typical closed-minded doctor, which sure, but that's not a good rebuttal. You should, you know, provide some evidence. And usually these people, they don't have any evidence. They know that. They just are able to market things to a naive audience in many cases. Do not be a sucker to Tucker. We should make that a hashtag. All right, you guys. Anyways, I hope this video was informative. I mean, you already know you're not supposed to tan your genitals, but PSA, here again. If you guys liked it, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.